Joseph A.
Ladies and
Traveler
gentlemen,
100% cotton wrinkle-free sports
Imus
shirt in fresh
in
new
the morning.
patterns. Traditional fit or trimmer tailored fit. Button-down or point collar. A fantastic value at
What's Kim's
$2
job at,
We're making
runs all
business
three radio
casual work
stations, right?
at Joseph A. Bank.
That is correct. GM
Sailing
of all
through
three
the
radio
heart
stations.
of
So I was going to get her
cities
some
and
Broadway
landscapes of
tickets. I did
Viking,
point out to
you'll
Kim
see
if you weren't
things
hot,
differently.
you have to pay for it.
You'll get closer
Oh,
to
my
iconic
God,
landmarks,
good roll.
to local life and
But,
cultural
man,
treasures.
That's
It's a
the answer
feeling
there.
that only a river can give you, that only
Although
Viking can
our
give
last
you. Spend less
boss,
time
Steve
getting
Warneman,
there
he was
and more time being there.
horrible looking either, but you
Viking River Cruises,
have to be gay
exploring
to
the world.
But he was a good looking guy.
Right, if it was you.
That was a good looking as she.
A short word. That's a tall order.
Whatever. I mean,
Up your
that's where
game.
you're coming from.
Exactly.
Up the ante.
Doug Brinkley's coming
And if
up.
you
22
stumble,
at Rice.
You get back up.
Wyatt wants to go
Up
to the
isn't
University
easy,
of Texas.
and we ought to know. We're in the
Home school
business of up.
That's what he wants.
Every day,
could
Delta
probably go
flies
anywhere,
250,000 people while
know,
investing
he's
billions
a
improving
sophomore, he's
everything from
15.
booking to
Don't he
baggage
start
claim.
out to start
We're
talking about
raising the
colleges?
bar on flying.
It's ridiculous,
And tomorrow,
isn't it?
Yep, then the
we will
application
up
started
it
and then
yet again.
I was glad I didn't go. So.
The worst coal mining disaster
I
in
don't
40
I
years.
don't think I
But what
did.
really
Did
caused the
nothing.
deadly
Look at you now, you're
explosion?
trying.
Don Blankenship has shocking new
Well, you know what?
details
I had
on
to
opening
educate
bell.
myself, and there's
Then,
still
changing
huge
the rules
gaps
of the
in my
game.
education.
Why a price tag didn't keep
Because
users
you
away
just-
from the top-selling app. Barney
Stuff
plays
you
along.
miss, you just don't.
Party City helps me create Easter
That's certain.
memories.
We
The
don't- we don't
kids
take any
love the
philosophy.
basket stuffers. And what a deal on
Aldous
tableware.
Huxley, and
This
then leave it
is
at that.
my party.
Party City and PartyCity.com.
I don't
Nobody
know.
has more Easter for
Well,
less. Now Party Place
So anyway, Doug
$1.99.
Brinkley, he's coming up.
CoQ10 is vital to
You
your
know,
body's
Wyatt
energy
would go to
production.
Rice,
It's
but
essential to heart
he
health
wants to go to the
and absorbs
University of
300% better.
And then
Qunol Ultra is the better
Vinny
CoQ10.
from Queens, he's coming up. We got some great
the gold
topics.
standard in CoQ10.
Rob and Tony come up with the topics, and they're all good. In fact, I was told I jumped all ugly with poor Tony over this Kevin Ollie deal, but then Lupica told me
Prilosec OTC is the #1 doctor recommended
that was a
treatment heartburn
legitimate
medicine for 8
observation
straight
on the part of
years.
Tony.
1 pill each morning,
Yes.
24 hours.
And
Zero heartburn.
and Lupica thinks that Kevin Ollie could very well
Party
be an
City
NBA
helps me
coach. In
create
fact, he thinks
Easter
he will be.
memories. The kids love the
those
basket
comparisons.
stuffers.
And
And
the
what a deal on
tradition of
tableware.
Doc Rivers
This is
and,
my
Mark
party.
Jackson.
Party City and PartyCity.com.
Doc-
Nobody has
Doc
more
Rivers
Easter
is
for less.
enormous.
Now
Oh,
Party
very
Place $1.99.
So
Are you
kudos
frustrated
to
with your
Tony.
computer because it's too slow?
And Rob was really, that was a funny thing that
Freezing
just
a lot?
Tacopina.
Yes, it
Because
was.
I always
riddle
wonder if a
with
guy like
viruses?
Tacopina has a sense of humor, and I've known him a long time.
Introducing PC-Matic. You can get a new
Those
one,
guys
but
are
that's
kinda
expensive.
serious, you know.
Plus, it's time-consuming
Let
to
them
transfer your
make fun
files
of.
and
Let's
to
hope he has a
reinstall and
sense of humor.
configure your
Funny.
programs.
Yeah, he does.
You can call
But
a
he's a
local
good-
tech
he's
guy,
not like
but that's
Tacopina.
expensive
And kudos
too.
to you, I man, for now
PC-Matic
turning
gets
around
your computers
the
running
criticism
like
into
new
praise.
and keeps them that way.
Showing that you're a
PC-Matic
bigger
prevents
man with,
freezing and blue screen.
Tony and Rob.
And
Very nice
PC-Matic is the most
start to the show
comprehensive
today, I think.
security
Very woman
that
fuzzy.
blocks
I'm just
modern
honest
viruses
about it.
and
They-
annoying
they don't get it done, I tell them that.
hijacks
If they do, I
online
tell them
shopping.
that.
PC-Matic closes
And
security
then
holes in software
Chris
like
Mad Dog
Java,
Russo's going to be
Flash.
on. I
PC-Matic
looked
is
for his show
affordable
yesterday. It
and
wasn't
easy
on.
to use. All that for only $50
Maybe it was on at
per
noon or
year
something, huh?
for 5 computers.
What was on, a game? Was there a
PC-Matic
game?
I
has a
don't know.
30-day money-back guarantee.
Major League Baseball
Lose your
Network is-
frustration
it's-
and get
I don't know.
PC-Matic.
Yeah, it's hard.
Visit
Only
PCMatic.com.
baseball.
That's PCMatic.com.
Well, no, I understand, but I just wasn't clear what was going on. So happy birthday to Madeline Imus, who's Donnie's kid. She's 7
And good
or
morning
8.
once again. Let's
I
get
think.
things started
Wow,
with the check
okay.
of the
I'm
markets.
not
Here's
sure
where
what
we
she-
stand
but she's a
following
cute kid.
yesterday's sell-off.
They live out there
Also
in
playing
Santa
into
Fe,
the
New
markets this
Mexico.
morning. Disappointing earnings
And,
from J.P.
I'm
Morgan
trying to
Chase.
find
The
out
bank missing on both profit
what
and
difference does it
revenue. Now,
make?
just
She's
a few
7 or
minutes
8.
ago, we learned
Yeah.
that producer
So, I
prices
mean,
had their
that's
biggest
what it
jump
is.
in 9 months in March. So that's an inflationary sign. Dow futures down
Any big sports
59
news,
points.
Warner?
Oh,
Believe it or
yeah.
not, that's off the
Well,
worst
you've got
levels
the
already
Masters, of course.
this morning. So shares
and
of
then
J.P. Morgan Chase are
also,
down in the
in the Yankee
pre-market
game,
too, trading after
the
it
Yankee
posted a very
pitcher,
disappointing first
Pineda,
quarter. The
accused
bank
of,
earned
doctoring up the ball,
$1.28 per share,
saying he
sharply
had,
below the estimate
stuff in
for
his
$1.40 a
pitching
share.
arm,
Revenue of
and it's certainly
$23.9
his
billion
arm.
also missed
Yeah, on his
expectations.
hand.
Mortgage
And it shows
originations
that he
plunged
did.
68%
And so we'll hear from
a year
the
ago.
call, and we'll hear from
J.P. Morgan is also raising its quarterly
like some
dividend to
Vaseline or
40
something,
cents a
doesn't it?
share from
Well,
38 cents a share. Some
it's
kind of
called,
positive gesture for
it's
shareholders.
a dark
Thank them for
substance.
sticking around
Pine
lately.
tar, it
The
could
biggest
be.
U.S. mortgage lender also
And,
reporting
of
earnings
course,
this morning.
we
Wells
get a
Fargo
better
comes in
grip
with a
on the
better than
ball.
expected print.
And
Wells
also
Fargo
the
says
ball would look a little
$1.05 a
funny
share,
coming into
8
the
cents
batters.
above the estimate for the latest quarter.
And it
Revenue of
affects the ball. I mean, it's
$20.6 billion
illegal,
fell
so
from a year
that's
ago,
the
but
bottom
still
line.
matched
And
the
the other
forecast.
story-
I like
Mortgage
that.
originations totaled
What, that
$36
he
billion,
uses it?
and that's
Well, I
down
guess
from
I do.
$50 billion in the prior quarter.
Well, he's not
so
the
there's
only
a
one.
theme
Not
problem in
that
the
that should
mortgage industry
justify
right
it.
now, or
But the
demand
other
for it.
story is
Now, efforts by
Colin
United
Kaepernick,
Parcel
the
Service,
quarterback of the
meantime, to end months
49ers.
of labor
I saw that.
talks
Yeah.
hit a snag.
Miami police
Members
are
of the Teamsters
investigating.
Union in
Yeah,
Louisville,
but that's some
Kentucky,
girly new
have
one. That's
overwhelmingly
funny
rejected
story.
part of
It
a
already had
contract with the
sex.
delivery company.
I'm not
UPS has
minimizing
been working to enact a
assaulting women,
5-year
believe me.
master contract
Well, I
that was
just-
approved
I
by
think-
most
I
of the
don't think
company's
there's much of a
workers,
story
but the
there.
contract cannot go into effect until
Well, sign with
local
his
unions
shirt off.
agree on all parts of the
Guy's-
deal.
guy's
The
been in
union
the
wants
gym,
UPS to do
so-
more to help
And
transport
then he's got
workers
the
from the
tattoos
parking
that
lot
they
to their
drive,
jobs.
Dagan and,
It's also objecting
Charlie
to the
insane,
company's
I guess.
removal of a
Where is that?
pension
Oh,
contribution increase
Hernandez.
for
Yeah,
some
so-
workers. Let's get you back now to Imus in the
drooling
morning,
over
continuing
Kevin.
right here on the Fox
Whatever
Business
his name
Network.
His name is Colin.
Man, what a pretty good quarterback, too, isn't he, Warner?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're going to discuss this coming up in Minute Between, but it's idiotic that A.J. McCarron and his girlfriend are going to do a reality show, and he should be focusing. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Say goodbye to her.
I mean, she obviously has talked him into this. They're going to get married in July, and they're going to do a reality show that focuses on the preparations for that. What do you have to report from there, Rob? Meanwhile,
on our Bill
Johnny Manziel,
O'Reilly,
who's
we
going to be
searched the
great
internet
in
and
the
we
pros.
found
I know
a Dr.
Warner and
Seuss
Lupica and all
Child's
these
Jesus book,
experts,
actually.
they don't think so.
Haters.
Or
Called
maybe
Green
Warner
Loaves
does,
and
I don't know. Or maybe
Fishes.
Lupica does. Or
Somebody does.
well, Warner doesn't.
I am
Warner
Jesus
doesn't think it's
Christ,
gonna
I
be great,
am.
do you,
I
Warner?
grew up in Bethlehem.
No.
My
No,
daddy's
so-
God, of
so
this I'm
Warner's gonna
sure.
be-
I heal the
not that he
lepers,
isn't
feed the
wrong
poor.
a lot anyway,
One
but
fish,
he's
two
gonna be
fish,
wrong
three
once
fish,
again.
four. I can make
So
1,000 more.
Johnny Manziel's gonna
You want
light it up.
wine? If you think you
And
oughta,
A.J.
just bring
McCarron
me
is
a
the-
jug of
and what's
water.
Manziel doing? He's
Pontius
getting ready
Pilate
for
thinks
life.
he's
Sure.
boss, wants to put me on
So
a
he's having
cross.
these pro. And what's
By my
A.J.
friends, I
McCarron
was
doing? The
betrayed.
last thing
Judas
he did was
Iscariot,
drop
he
the
got
ball.
paid.
Right.
But
So
he'll
that game
get this,
against
and that's a
Oklahoma?
fact, because
Yeah.
in 3 days, I will be
Oh.
back. Like
Well,
Arnold in
whoever
the
they play.
Terminator, because
McCarron
my
will
father's
get
the
injured.
Well, no, the
creator.
Iron Bowl, they
If you
lost the
follow
Iron
me, you
Bowl. I'm
cannot
talking about
lose.
the
So I
bowl
guess
game
that's
they
bad
were in.
luck for the Jews.
Yeah, after the Auburn game.
Did you guys write that?
Right.
That's
Iman's on it.
That's pretty good,
Let us
Rob.
handle
This, Warner. All right. That's very good. And very productive. Anyway,
Doing our
any
best.
business news?
Well,
anyway,
yeah,
see,
it was
what
a
did Tony have much to
horrible
do with
day in
that?
stock
Yeah,
market
Tony,
yesterday.
help
I'll
me.
explain what's going on.
What percent? Okay.
Percentage.
What percentage do you think, Tony?
aware
What
of
did
that.
Rock and Roll
Crucial
Hall of Fame
rhymes.
laureate?
Bethlehem was his.
I don't know
so
what you're referring to
started it off.
That's
exactly.
very good.
Yeah.
I know
That's
Kiss
really good.
didn't perform.
But
Is that
I'm
the
McGregor
scandal
here with the
point?
briefing just ahead of Lawyer Rothman.
Yes, I do.
Sponsored by Short Hills Aviation.
No,
here with
it
us,
will be
but I'm McGregor,
televised
might be.
later
Hey,
on
Chief, well,
HBO.
yesterday on the
But
floor of
Glenn Fry
Parliament,
inducted Linda
David Cameron,
Ronstadt
the Prime
into
Minister
the
of
Rock and Roll
England, the
Hall
guy
of
who
Fame.
took
Glenn
the
Fryer, Don
selfie
Henley.
with President
Glenn
Obama
Fry.
of the hot Danish
Carrie
Prime Minister.
Underwood performed.
Glenn Fry inducted Linda
This
Ronstadt?
member of
Yes.
Parliament,
You
he
told
went
me
out there
earlier,
and he
Don Henley.
sarcastically
No, I did not. I said
alluded
Glenn
to
Fry.
cell phones.
You did not.
And you have to know that the Danish Prime Minister is the
What a
niece
mistake.
of a former British
not
But it
politician
hasn't been
named Neil
televised yet.
Kinnock,
Good.
who is a member of the opposition
It's not that
party
great.
to David
4
Cameron.
women performed
Listen to the
with
member
the
of
surviving
Parliament and
members
then
of
listen
Nirvana.
to David Cameron
Joan
react
Jett,
to
Lord,
it
St.
all about
Vincent,
the cell
and Kim
phone and the
Gordon
selfie.
from Sonic Youth, which was
That
weird.
could be good.
Abolishing roaming charges is
weirdly
one of
good.
the big
Did you
wins
read
for
about
British
it?
consumers
No,
we
you
might get
didn't
from
go,
remaining
did
in
you?
the European
Maybe,
Union.
no.
Has the Prime Minister had
No,
the
I did not.
opportunity to discuss international
Any big
mobile phone
weekend
usage
plans, Laurie?
with any other European
Oh,
heads
yes,
of
I'm
government in
headed
the
to
last day or so?
California. You're going to be without me next week.
That's
Where in California is that?
Southern
you could say
California
in
to
a
my
roundabout
hometown called
way.
Agora Hills, just
Perhaps in
outside
my
the San
defense,
Fernando
you should
Valley.
always
Visit Mom
remember
and Dad
that
for
the
the
television
holidays.
cameras
And my
are always
daughter's
on, but in my
birthday.
defense, I'd say
Passover,
that
5th birthday,
Nelson Mandela
Disneyland,
played
Easter,
an extraordinary
in that
role
order.
in his life and in his death.
That's not fun?
Bringing people together.
I'll
And so, of
send you
course,
lots
when
of
a
pictures.
member of the Kinnock family
Barney,
asked
what
me
do
for
you
a
have coming
photograph,
up?
I thought it was
We
only
have
polite to say
funny
yes.
guys Seth MacFarlane, comedian Jim Norton, and the reaction to Colbert replacing
All right, time for a little news now.
Good morning, Iron Man. Now they're saying 10 people are dead, dozens more injured after this bus full of
Lawyer
high
Rothman
school
upstairs
students crashed
covering business.
with a
Well, are
FedEx
you,
truck,
Laura?
Hi, I'm
Northern
doing well,
California
thanks.
yesterday,
Morning.
then
You know,
burst
we
into
were
flames.
we were watching
busted.
you
One of the
doing a break
rescue
this
workers
morning.
Oh, yeah?
says
On the monitor
the
back in
kids
the
who
green room.
survived are freaked
And it
out and
looked-
still can't
no,
grasp
buddy,
exactly
not-
what happened.
that was amazing.
This person named Lisa who says that she tried to
your
help out in
eyes
any way
were,
she could.
because of the monitor, it looked like your eyes were bloodshot.
Man.
I was living it up last night, partying
So
with
I asked Nana, said, does she smoke weed before she goes on? He says, no, I don't think so.
You know, it's funny. I'm
Ten
having.
dead again.
I don't know
as
if
a
it's
result
my
of this.
age or
These,
what, but
high
this
school students were
dry eye
supposed to visit a
problem. I'm a
local
contact
college
lens
where
wearer. So it's interesting that
when
you
the
would
bus
say
crashed
that. I
with the
think I need
FedEx truck.
to
Big
make an
political
appointment
story
with
is
the
Kathleen
ophthalmologist.
Sebelius out
You know,
as the
women
Health
of a
and Human
certain age
Services
have
Secretary,
problem
resigning
with moisture.
following the,
Yeah,
problematic
she said that.
rollout of
Okay, I mean,
Obamacare. The president
don't
set
say
to
that.
appoint his
Taking in
budget
the room.
director,
I mean,
Sylvia
because
Matthews
it's just-
I didn't
Burwell,
say-
to
I
that
did not
place
say
and take
it.
place
No,
take
I
the
mean,
place of
just
Sebelius.
say
So
it.
that'll
In
happen
my eyes,
later on
I'm
today.
talking
We're
about
in
my
agreement
lack
with
of
what's going on
tears.
there.
Okay.
We're saying we can make you cry, too, by the way. Anyway,
Did you say something?
oh, look, it's Larry Flynn.
Good morning,
Larry, how
JP
are
Morgan
you?
with a big earnings
think
miss
I'm in
ahead
a
of what
wheelchair
looks to be
tomorrow.
another big down day for the markets. The heartbleed bug forcing Canada to shut down more
What would you be
public
talking about
websites.
this morning?
And Google Glass will be
the
offered up for
trend
sale in a
towards
one-day
whether or
sale.
not,
Wait till you hear what it
waxing or
costs.
shaving.
I'm Maria Bartiromo. This is the opening bell.
Natural.
I don't know. Is this something we want to really get into?
It was in the New York Times.
What is that?
From our Fox Business Network studios in New York City, this is Opening Bell with Maria Bartiromo.
Do you have any?
Hopefully apocryphal.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday
Do you
to you.
have
Good
any,
morning and welcome to the opening bell on the Fox Business
have any
Network. We're
what?
looking at another downer this morning for the market. Take a look at where we stand in the futures. We are expecting that big
continues.
sell-off
You
to
don't
extend
shave
this
with
morning
your-
with the Dow future showing a decline at the
question
open of
I'm in.
about 70 points.
Who throws
Asian
a shoe?
markets in
Well, some
sell-off
woman
mode
at a
overnight,
Hillary
taking the
Clinton
cue from
speech
the
in
Wall
Vegas
Street action
actually
yesterday.
threw a shoe
Namely
at,
Japan, the
at
Nikkei
Mrs. Clinton.
average
She
hasn't
ducked.
had
The
a
woman's
week
now in
this
custody.
bad since the
And,
horrific
Hillary
events
apparently had a
surrounding the
joke ready. The
2011
video on the Fox
earthquake
Business
and
Network.
Ducked a
tsunami.
little
In the
late.
shadow of
Get out of the way.
Come on, baby.
She says, thank goodness they didn't play softball like I did, or she didn't play softball like I did. But the woman, they took her into custody after firing the shoe.
That's my candidate, Hillary Clinton. As of now,
She can duck a shoe.
if Christie gets in, I'd vote for him. But
Okay.
if he doesn't, I'm voting for her.
Not Jeb Bush.
No, not Jeb Bush. Oh, come on.
All right. Just
All right, let's do some business news here with that. It's Dagan McDowell. Morning, Dagan.
Good morning, sir. Nasty. One word to describe yesterday's market sell-off. The Dow tumbled nearly 267 points. But check out the NASDAQ. The hardest hit there, the three major market gauges, losing 3% of its value in one day. The biggest one-day decline in 2.5 years for the NASDAQ. Investors have been dumping high-flying internet and biotechnology stocks that look, frankly, very expensive. And to end up the week, the futures right now are still down 10 points on the Dow futures.
17 after the hour. Let's do sports now. And that's sponsored by Peerless Spoilers. And here with that is Warner Wolf. Good morning, Warner.
Morning, Iron. First round of the Masters. Bill Haas has the lead, 4 under par, 68. He has a one-stroke lead over defending champion Adam Scott, 2012 champion Bubba Watson, and former British Open champion Louis Oosthuizen.
How's Mickelson doing?
Mickelson, he shot the worst round he's ever shot at a Masters. He may miss the cut. He shot a 76. In fact, here was Mickelson on he had a triple bogey 7 and a double bogey 7.
I don't feel like my game is off. I really don't. I feel solid with my ball striking. I feel great with the putter. I hit all those chips solid and flush. I was just off.
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah. So 8 guys shot in the 80s. Baseball last night, the Yanks beat the Red Sox 4-1, but the story, Michael Pineda, who took a 2-hit shutout into the 7th, appeared to have a dark substance on his pitching hand, and the first 4 innings, maybe pine tar. Here was the call. The 2 guys that spotted it first, Jerry Remy and Don Orsillo of Nesson.
Certainly looked like pine tar. We had a shot of him between innings, and you can see down around the bottom of the hand.
What would that help you do as a pitcher?
Well, certainly get a good grip on the baseball, and especially the slider.
Yeah, absolutely looks like pine tar.
Yeah, that's not legal.
Yeah. So after the game, of course, they asked Joe Girardi about it.
There's really not much for me to speak on concerning that.
Does that mean
there's nothing for me to really...
You didn't see it, or
I never saw it. There's nothing really for me to talk about.
Well, you didn't see it. That's what you're saying.
What I said is I didn't see it on his hand, is what I said. And number 2, I said I don't really have anything to say about it.
Oh, man. Hey, 1 hour to kind of a funny golf story. Sort of funny. I think it is.
Yeah.
Right. There's 2 guys were playing golf, and they were tied going to the 18th. So the one guy tees off, and he hits it straight down the fairway, about 300 yards. The other guy slices his into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So they spend about 10 minutes looking for it. And the guy's still looking for his ball, and he says to the other guy, well, why don't you go hit your second shot, and I'll spend a couple of minutes looking for it, and if I can't find it, I'll go back and tee off again. So the guy says, oh, okay. So guy goes, hits his ball and lands about 10 feet from the pin. And just before he hit the ball, the guy said, "Found it." Here's him say. So, and then the next thing, just a second or two after his ball hits the green, it comes flying out of the woods and lands about a couple of inches from the pin.
Whoa.
And this is called the golfer's dilemma. And the dilemma is, the guy's faced with, should he take the lying-cheating bastard's ball out of his pocket and confront him, or should he just let it go?
That's it.
It is 20 minutes after the hour. Maybe I didn't tell it right.
No, I liked it.
So could have been good. What's coming up in the briefing, Bernie?
We have a little more on Hillary Clinton. She, and also Seth MacFarlane, Jim Norton, and lots of stuff.
What's the deal with the shirt you have on? Is that the deal from the Louis Rickard deal?
That's exactly right. Some beautiful shirts from Louis Rickard.
That's a sweet-looking
of
shirt.
Skip Gambert fame.
What's on the, what's on,
you.
well, the cuffs are got,
What is
what the hell is that?
Bernard has red,
I don't know.
flowery cuffs.
I think he's trying to get me beat up on the subway on the way up here.
It's pretty sweet right there.
No, it's a little funky, and
Did you ask him to do that?
well, not exactly, but
Surprised me, Bertie said.
but he did it, and it's beautiful.
Hey, Louis, put some of those flowers on the cuffs for me.
I'm sure now he's going to start making them for O'Reilly and the rest of it, and yourself, Chief.
After the hour, almost 27 after. This portion of the Imus Morning program is sponsored by the New York Auto Show, April 18th through April 27th, the Javits Center. Buy your tickets online. Go to autoshowny.com. Bernie's briefing is sponsored by MyPillow. Go to MyPillow.com, type in the code word Imus. Just buy all of their products. Let's put an end to this. Anyway, good morning, Bernie.
Good morning, boss. Connell played the clip earlier, but we have the clip with the sound of Hillary Clinton reacting to the shoe-throwing incident. She was at a hotel in Las Vegas giving a high-paid speech, Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, and a bleach blonde chick flung the shoe at her, and she ducked, as you said, a little late, but she did get away from it. But watch him lead out the bleach blonde chick as she comments. Take a listen and a look.
It's already recycling about 2. What was that, a bat? Was that a bat?
Bat?
That's somebody throwing something at me? Is that part of Cirque du Soleil? My goodness, I didn't know solid waste management was so controversial.
And finally,
thank goodness she didn't play softball like I did.
She recovered very nicely. She recovered.
Good.
Wow.
Now, but take a look at this picture on the Fox Business Network. This is Bill Clinton with 2 hookers, and one of them is a bleach blonde hooker. He was pictured with these people a little over a month ago in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So the chick that he's in the picture with looks strikingly like the girl they let out of the hotel in the lobby. And I'm not jumping to any conclusions. I'm just presenting the facts. This is a little over a month ago. Now, Hillary Clinton was actually asked about this picture and that chick, and she said this.
What difference at this point does it make?
Hey,
So
what do you think of the Colbert thing, Bernie? You look at those guys all the time.
Yeah, well, look, the guy's very talented, but he is very political, very polarizing.
Sure.
So I don't think my boys Jimmy and Jimmy are going to stay number 1 and 2 respectively.
Sure.
And look, and plus, I'm very disappointed. I really was looking for like a female or, some sort of minority, a Latino perhaps, an African American. And but they replaced David Letterman with a guy who's going to be 50-something.
Yeah.
They both wear glasses. Maybe they're looking for consistency.
I asked Wyatt about it. He was 15, and he didn't know what I was talking about even. It just had so little interest. So
Don't care. Yeah.
I don't know what audience they're going after. I guess not 15-year-olds, probably. But seems fine to me, though. I always kind of like Colbert. I don't know why, but
well, he is going to do it. He's not going to be that character or whatever the hell that is that he plays on the show. He's
Who's he
going to
be?
He's going to be Stephen Colbert. He's not going to play the buffoon.
Isn't his name Colbert?
That's the stage name for the character. He's not going to play the buffoon conservative that he plays on the show.
Be himself.
He's going to be himself, and of
So
course,
he's going to start pronouncing his name Colbert.
if he's true to his words, they interviewed a woman from CBS, an executive, and she said that he's going to be himself. So I would imagine he'd go back to his regular name. I don't know that for a fact, but that she said he's not doing it in character. And Bill O'Reilly responded to him. They have a little feud going on.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bill said that he hopes that he's considered for the role of Ed McMahon to Stephen Colbert.
Mm-hmm.
But Jimmy Kimmel last night, boss.
Sure.
He got a tape of this guy who had a heart attack. He has a funny name. Take a listen to Jimmy Kimmel from last night.
A 52-year-old man in Toronto had a heart attack. It landed him on the transplant list. Somehow he managed to get himself off the list using exercise, which is amazing, but not nearly as amazing as his name.
When Garwin Cockhead suffered a heart attack 2 years ago at 50, he was put on medications and cardio rehab.
My heart was very, very, very weak, and I should be thought about having a heart transplant.
Garwin Cockhead. How is it possible that his first name is worse than his last name?
Jimmy Kimmel here on the briefing with Bernie. It's 31 out the hour. Doug Brinkley is next.
It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished him well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell.
How to prosper.
All right, 23 till the hour here in the Imus Morning program. Vinny from Queens will talk sports coming up with Warner Wolf, Lou Rufino, Gunzelman, Tony Powell, Conor McShane, and Nat Candido.
All right.
And then in an almost all sports Friday, Chris Mad Dog Russo, and then I'm going to Huntsville, Texas. Speaking of Texas, please welcome now to the Imus Morning program Doug Brinkley, who's a professor of history at Rice University, which is in Houston, Texas, and he's a contributing editor at Vanity Fair, and he's written a number of New York Times best-selling books, and he lives in, I believe, in Austin. He joins us now. Good morning, Professor Brinkley.
Hey, good morning to you.
So I said to Wyatt yesterday, I said, did you call Mr. Brinkley? He said, no. I said, why? He said, I want to go to the University of Texas, Macomb Business School. I said, yeah, but Rice's. He said, I know Rice's.
So we got to get him at least to go take a look. If he comes down, I'll give him a walk around, and he could see Rice, and then he can choose between them. They're both great places.
He's a great kid. I know he's my kid, but he's a great kid. Anyway, let's discuss something far more important.
Well, have him call me.
I will. Your musical Mount Rushmore. This is not good. Bob Dylan, Woody Guthrie. I mean, that's That's the same person, isn't it?
No, I'm actually in Tulsa, Oklahoma right now. I gave a lecture on Woody Guthrie last night at the University of Tulsa, and they built a museum downtown here, a Kaiser Foundation, all for Woody. So it's a kind of a performance space, and he's really bringing downtown Tulsa back to life. They've got all of Guthrie's papers, lyrics, over 2,000 lyrics. But I get what you mean. There's that similarity there, but I picked Guthrie because I think This Land Is Your Land in the end becomes the great anthem. And the spirit of Woody Guthrie, the iconoclast, I've always admired. And then Dylan, you can't ever get around. And Chuck Berry is the man. And
yeah, I mean, if somebody, I read somewhere, somebody said if you could nominate the same people each year for the Rock, then every year people would nominate Chuck Berry. So
Chuck, there's nobody like Chuck.
Yeah.
He's in St. Louis still. People neglect him, but a guy named Joe Edwards, who owns the bar Blueberry Hill, who's a friend of mine, recently was able to get a statue of Chuck Berry put right near Washington University. And Berry comes in there once a week and plays guitar on the basement. He's 85 years old, and it's still as good as anything just listening to Chuck Berry. I think we've underappreciated him. He had some legal problems in the 60s, and people you don't hear as much about him. But boy, just turn him on, and all you have to do is put Chuck Berry on loud, and it'll get you moving.
Well, some of those guitar licks, of course, were the foundations of rock and roll.
It's it. You're talking about Civil Rights Summit this week. I was thinking when you asked me, my Mount Rushmore producer asked me, I was thinking, that Chuck Berry should be part of when he did, move over Beethoven and give Tchaikovsky the news. I mean, that was a big comment. That was, turning the page and promoting American culture, not European culture, and just standing out of the pack. He almost shaves with a blowtorch, Chuck Berry. He does his things his own way. He's a tough character. I've gotten to know him quite a bit, and he's been very kind to me, over the years. And whenever I can, I try to talk about him. Picking 4 on that Mount Rushmore, Don, was tough. I felt terrible about leaving Johnny Cash and Hank Williams off of the list, but I thought Louis Armstrong.
How about Elvis?
And Elvis.
How about Sinatra?
And Sinatra. Those were that was my list.
Oh.
But I'm probably a big Woody guy because when I was a kid, I used to play all of Woody's songs, and I'd go around Europe in the summers. I was going to a school at Ohio State, and I would go busking and playing in little clubs and things, harmonica rack around the neck, learning all those Guthrie songs, and then doing them Dylan and stuff. So I have a fondness for those guys.
How long is your lecture on Woody?
It was fun. I had found this long-lost novel of Woody Guthrie's, House of Earth, and it's in the rare collections department at Tulsa at the university. So I went there and gave an hour lecture with all of the leading lights of the city of Tulsa there. We had a nice dinner in the rare, kind of oak-paneled, rare reading room. And that afternoon, I went down and saw what they did with the Guthrie Archive. And it's a wonderful story because the guy who brought Woody back to Oklahoma is a man, Mr. Kaiser, who was a very conservative banker and, in fact, main guy of the Bank of Oklahoma. So the banks of Oklahoma are the ones that brought all of Woody's papers and things back to Oklahoma.
Here's the thing. So people make fun of me because I get enamored of people like you or even Frank Rich. They used to write, used to be a drama critic for the New York Times, and do you ever read anything he's written, Frank Rich?
Of course, my friend.
Oh man, he's a great writer. He's about a half a commie, but I don't hold that against him. But not to patronize you, which I wouldn't do. But anybody who can come up with an hour of information to a lecture on Woody Guthrie is a genius.
I could go for hours on Woody. But you know what else I went and saw here in Tulsa was the old recording studio. I don't know if you remember this, Shelter Records.
Oh, sure.
But Leon Russell's place. And
Yep.
I'm going to get a call today from the lawyer because the studio's up for sale. It's kind of an abandoned building now, but a number of great albums, including most of Leon's best stuff, was recorded there. And I thought Tulsa might be able to make a little bit of a tour site out of it. They've named the avenue after Leon Russell now, but the town of Tulsa's got all these Art Deco buildings because it was a boom city in the 1920s, so it's a lot of beautiful architecture here. It's a lot of fun just hanging around for a few days.
You know, before I got into radio, I was a songwriter out in. I don't write very good songs because that's why I got into radio. But I was doing demos in L.A. and one time I wish I'd have saved it. And you could get these guys to play on demos for 10 or 15. This is back in the '60s, for 10 or 15 bucks a side. And I had Leon Russell and James Burton and the great harp player Billy Lee Riley on a couple of demos for cost me like.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know they were. Those are great characters. Well, one of the things some of these guys do well, like something like Leon Russell, has kept his Oklahoma roots. So he may have been marginalized a little bit by the culture, but he's still beloved in Tulsa. So he's a major figure here, and I like that. Same thing. Chuck Berry has stayed in St. Louis. If those guys would have been living in Hollywood, they wouldn't have been able to build a history legacy as they do when they stick to their roots town. Bob Seger, I guess, does that up in Detroit. There are many of those guys that do that, and I think it works well for him. Willie, down in Texas.
Talking with Doug Brinkley, one of the more interesting people on the planet here in the Imus in the morning program. Speaking of Matt Taibbi, you know he left Rolling Stone. Did you hear that?
I did hear that he left there. He'll do fine wherever he is. He's got a nice writing style of his own, and he's brave. That's usually what you want to see in that kind of journalist. So I have no doubt he's going to still get book advances and.
Well, he's got a new deal. There's a new trend now, as you're obviously aware of. These guys all going to these websites that are funded by these huge companies, and like Bill Simmons at ESPN with that Grantland. I mean, that's a fabulous site. Then they get all these people who write like them, and they don't have to worry about money, and that's what kids read anyway. It's even what I read. I mean, I subscribe to Rolling Stone, but the last time I actually said, I actually read the story about Miranda Lambert in it yesterday, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, talking.
I do. I'm still a book person. I came out when I did my doctorate at Georgetown. I worked about 40, maybe even 50 hours a week in the used book business. I used to work for Charing Cross Books and then one called Idle Times and Second Story. So I used to go and mark what are the first editions, rare books. So I became a kind of an antiquarian, and I like the tangible books. That's why I write so many books. I actually enjoy going to the archives and seeing the old documents, and so I'm a bit of a Luddite when it comes to technology and the modern world and new websites and all. I try to watch my electronic intake a little bit and go right back to the old style libraries. I like card catalogs, not the web.
Did you get involved in any of that LBJ stuff? And
I did. I saw Jimmy Carter, who was down there, and it's sort of a rollout one day after another on something to do with civil rights. I was looking for your friend Dick Gregory, but he wasn't down there. But Julian Bond and John Lewis, they're always pretty interesting, particularly John Lewis. So yeah, it's just a way to get a lot of attention for that presidential library because of it's the one big thing LBJ is going to be remembered for. Next, after this, you head into Vietnam territory, and Ken Burns, I believe, is doing something like a 14-hour documentary on Vietnam, and when that hits the culture, people will start stop singing the praises of LBJ because they'll find there's some problems there with McNamara and LBJ and the way they ran the war.
Man, I'll tell you who's really brilliant. Speaking of Dick Gregory, is Dick Gregory. I mean, sometimes he acts a little... He gets crazy ideas, but God, is he brilliant.
I've always admired that when you have him on. I always enjoy him on your show. He just saw a lot. I mean, I'm actually reviewing a novel right now where Dick Gregory's somebody put him in as a bit of a character. And he's I used to read his stuff as a kid. I liked Lenny Bruce and Dick Gregory a lot coming up, so I've stayed pretty loyal to him.
Well, Wyatt ought to call you just to talk to you because there's...
I'd love and it's just a short ride, and we'll just grab a bit of lunch and just give him a 1-hour walk around, and at least he can catch, the aura of the campus and compare it to UT and make his own choice.
I'm going to Huntsville this morning. He's got a big rodeo this weekend, so.
Yeah, I think about him, and whenever I see on the gym I go to work out, they've got the rodeo on all the time.
Sure.
On one of the channels, and picturing how immersed you are and all that.
All right, Doug. It's always fascinating to talk with you. Thank you very much.
Hey, take care, guys.
Professor Doug Brinkley. You could just spend all morning,
on anything, right?
One of his big pals was Hunter Thompson. He's such a... I don't want to use the word eclectic, but I guess I did, didn't I?
You just did.
Pretty lame. Oh, no, man. Brinkley's the guy. Like when Nancy Reagan, when they were going to get somebody to edit Reagan's diary, you know who she called? She called him.
Yep.
So you think, well, why would she call some commie? Well, he's not a commie. You know what I'm saying? Jay Leno is, I believe, 11 minutes now, is back in the green room. Mm-hmm. Let's go back to him and see what's on his mind. Good morning, Jay.
Hey, how you doing, Imus? Good to see you.
Good. What's up?
Well, Conan O'Brien's kicking off a week of shows from Dallas tonight, and the only problem I can see is they won't be broadcasting from Dealey Plaza. His first guest is Adam Sandler. I suppose it's too much to hope for. As soon as he walks out, somebody heckles him from the book depository with a Carcano 9138. I guess he's on to make Conan appear funnier by comparison. A dead bunny would be funnier by comparison. Adam Sandler is sadder than your 55-year-old uncle quitting his job to start a band, which is kind of what Russell Crowe on Jimmy Fallon last week was like. Johnny Cash wasn't exactly Sam Cooke when it came to the vocals. Doesn't take much to sing better than Johnny Cash, but somehow Russell Crowe found a way to screw even that up. There are lifers in Folsom Prison who'd rather play wife to their 450-pound cellmates than have to listen to that. And Jimmy Fallon playing the harmonica, it was less Delbert McClinton than it was Imus after climbing a flight of stairs. Russell was on promoting his Noah movie, which despite his success at the box office, I want to see about as much as I do those commercials for Adam Levine selling that zip cream. I'd rather watch 3 hours of some tattooed hipster with a face like the bottom of a Nestle's Crunch Bar instead of some psycho-biblical dude building a boat because God told him to tread water with a deck full of crapping animals. But even they would be funnier than Conan O'Brien.
Thank you very much, Jay.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I'll be at JT Yuckelbucks in Dayton, Ohio this weekend for 97 shows.
Ladies and gentlemen, Imus in the morning.
Well, apparently, Tony and Carly went out with a pal to the people thing in the street and asked the peeps about who was on the real Mount Rushmore.
Oh, good.
And I've just been informed of this. Tony said he'd sent me an email at 3 o'clock this morning. And of course, I accused him of lying until I looked at my...
And there it was.
And there it was on my phone, but I'd put it in the trash because who knows why, so...
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Larry Flint here with us. Larry, how are you? How are you this morning?
I'm about the same as I am every day.
Okay, so, and why are you here?
I got nowhere else to go. I mean, I'm pretty much at the mercy of whoever drives a van. Wherever they park and put the elevator, that's where I go.
There he is.
Okay.
They
What's
came
on
here
your
for
mind
some
when
reason.
you have something to share with us?
Well, I've never had a lot of patience with feminists, You can't please them. Probably because they're all lesbians. I built my empire on glorifying the female body, but they called it exploitation. Even though I always strive for the artistic sensibility, I'd always choose flattering lighting, soft focus, composed each shot so it never made the donkey the subject of the photograph. I celebrate the natural beauty of women. And now celebrities like Cameron Diaz and Gwyneth Paltrow are championing that very cause, calling for an end to bikini waxing and a return to the full-on 70s Earth Mama shrubbery. They're embracing their pubic hair. Not literally, although I did a pictorial about that very thing back in 1983. This is a legitimate deal. There were 2 New York Times articles about this subject in the last 6 months alone. There's a movement for women to forego the razor and the laser and return to a more natural state. When I was younger, I wasn't a fan of the whiskey thicket. I like my women's private parts the way I like my burger, with nothing on it. I was never a fan of the Chewbacca in a leg lock look. But now that I'm older and wiser, I see the value in eschewing the grooming. It adds an air of mystery.
This is not funny.
Wow, what's in there? What's in there? Besides, it's not like I'm going to be able to do anything with it anyway. Somebody push me in front of a bus, please.
That is not funny.
No,
That's not.
No,
I'm sorry.
Not at all.
What are those noises? Birds?
What they are, I don't.
Nice hair. Paula Dean going bald today? I mean, I have no excuse, but I'm not able to comb my own hair.
It's time for something. This is not right. Get out.
Did you pee through a straw or what? What the hell is that?
Get out.
Get out. All right, Nat.
It's time now for the news.
Oh, I'm serious, Nat.
Here he goes.
No, God.
Oh, you're going to hell. I'm telling you now.
God.
Oh, we all are.
That's not funny.
No,
That's not. No, that's not right.
Nat Wilson.
Time for some news down here with that.
Congratulations, Nat.
Yeah, you got a promotion.
Nat'll be starring in Vinny from Queens, so this is coming up.
Yeah.
Let's do some news down here with that. It's Colin with Shane. That's not.
Oh, my God.
That's not right.
No, it's not. Well, we have this awful story in California that actually tops the news. This university visit for high school students that turned to tragedy.
Awful story.
Oh, they're on a bus and was hit by a FedEx tractor trailer that crossed the median Interstate 5 about 100 miles north of Sacramento. 10 people dead, including the truck driver. This woman saw the bus in flames.
At the time, I couldn't tell that it was a tour bus, but it just kept popping and booming as it was on fire.
Well, officials say they're working to identify the victims from the bus. It was carrying somewhere between 44 and 48 students, 4 chaperones, and the driver. Day 5 now on the stand for Oscar Pistorius over in South Africa. We have a clip that just came into us here. And basically what it is the prosecutor was questioning him and was accusing Pistorius of lying about whether or not he remembers shutting off the alarm in his house. And Pistorius comes back and says he doesn't remember. He doesn't recall what happened because, he claims, he's tired this morning. So that's when the judge jumped in. Here it is.
Yeah. When you're in that witness box, you understand that?
I do, my lady.
So if you are tired and the reason you're making all these mistakes is because you're tired, you must say so.
My lady.
It doesn't help to say it's not going to change.
I understand, my lady. I am tired, my lady, but I made a mistake with the way I answered the question.
There you go. It doesn't sound like the judge is taking much of this from Pistorius.
How much more of this blubbering fool do we have to listen to?
Why do you, I mean,
Unbelievable.
God.
Gone on for 5 days like this. So.
She really is not into that at all, is she?
No. Not interested.
Jeez.
Out. Not interested. Hey, not again, I'm Princess Cruises says it has no plans to end early a tour on which more than 100 passengers have become ill. Ill on a cruise ship.
Oh, good.
Dozens of passengers, 25
You're
crew
kidding.
members.
I can't believe this can happen.
have contracted the highly contagious norovirus while they were touring the California coast. Company spokeswoman saying 50 people have been quarantined in their cabins. So,
oh, great.
There we go again. These cruise ships.
What a great trip. You can't come out of your cabin.
You're stuck
on
in
this
there.
rotting cesspool boat. Oh, God. 11 after the hour. Do some business news. Here with that is Dagan Madam. Morning, Dagan.
Good morning, sir. The Dow futures are now down 34 points. J.P. Morgan's quarterly results came up short of expectations. General Motors, meantime, has expanded that ignition switch recall to now include the lock cylinder, where the part where the key is inserted. The current ones can allow the key to be pulled out while the car is running. And GM will take a $1.3 billion hit because of all these troubles.
This portion of the Imus Morning program is sponsored by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. Donate your car to these folks Today, Connell probably has more news. Jay.
Well, we have an update on the plane. They're getting, it seems, more confident in the search for the missing Malaysian plane. Nothing definitive, but the Australian Prime Minister, Tony Abbott, says the black boxes certainly could solve the mystery of what happened, so the crews have no intention of giving up the search.
We're now getting to the stage where the signal from what we are very confident is the black box is starting to fade. We are hoping to get as much information as we can before the signal finally expires.
Yeah, they're talking about the battery in the black boxes where you get the ping from. He says the authorities, though, are still confident the signals they've been getting are coming from the plane, that it's coming from the black boxes of the plane.
Thank you, my lady.
Thank you, my lady. What is that? And I'll give you one final one on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I'll help him look for the ship if you leave me off. Anything, please, my lady. Anything.
That is really pathetic, isn't it?
Oh, God.
I'll put on a snorkel. I'll be in the water.
Fine.
So, Nirvana's inducted. Well, one of them inducted last night, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had the ceremonies, and Courtney Love was there, saying about how I just wish Kurt was here to do this. Kurt Cobain, and Kiss was inducted. But anyway, here's Gene Simmons.
This is a profound moment for all of us. We are humbled that the fans ever gave us the chance to do what we love doing.
There you go. Man, where was that lady with the shoe at Hillary's event? Where was she when you need him? Or her?
At the Rock and Roll.
God, what an awful band.
Congratulations.
Man, taking a heel to the tongue, that would have been great.
Terrible.
Kiss, baby.
Hillary Clinton dodging shoes.
13 after the hour. All right.
I like Kiss, my lady.
Did you do your business report yet?
I sure did.
You did.
Thank you.
Well, let's do sports now, sponsored by Peerless Boilers. And here with, well, no, it's not.
No, calm
It's
down.
sponsored by Hackensack University Medical Center, a place where medicine meets innovation. So here with sports, just ahead of a lot of sports. On Vinny from Queens is Warner Wolf. Morning, Warner.
Morning, I-Man. First round of the Masters. Bill Haas has the lead, 4 under par, 68, a one-stroke lead over defending champion Adam Scott, 2012 champion Bubba Watson, and former British Open champ Louis Oosthuizen. Roy McIlroy tied, 3 back, 71. Patrick Reed, the guy who said only last month he was one of the top 5 golfers in the world, 1 over par, 73. And Phil Mickelson, with a triple bogey 7 on 7 and a double bogey 7 on 15, the worst round he's ever shot at a Masters, a 76, and may miss the cut. Here was Mickelson on his disastrous round.
Actually played well. I know it's hard to say that, but I actually played well, and I just made a lot of little mental errors, and I made a lot of little mistakes around the greens.
Oh, that's a way to look at it. Baseball last night, the Yanks beat the Red Sox 4-1. The story, Michael Pineda, who took a 2-hit shutout into the 7th, appeared to have a dark substance on his pitching hand, maybe a pine tar. And here was the description caught by David Cohn of the Yes Network.
I've seen a lot of pitchers, and myself included, who did use pine tar. On a little bit of a cooler night, it can help you grip the ball a little better. It could be pine tar, but I've seen a lot of pitchers who use pine tar to help with the grip.
So
is it illegal to do that?
Illegal, any substance, absolutely.
Well, did Cohn say he used to do it?
Yes, he did. Yeah. Big time, 20-game winner, Cy Young. Yeah.
Perfect game.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. So here was Pineda, who said, no, it was just dirt.
It's dirt.
Just dirt?
Oh. Yeah. And between the inning, I'm sweating too much, my head, and I'm putting dirt.
Yeah. Gooey dirt.
Well, man, it looks like Vaseline.
Yes. And I-Man, put John Calipari on your list of people who think college student athletes should be paid. Among Calipari's suggestion, players should receive $3,000 to $5,000 a year. They should also cover the players' insurance policy premiums, and players should be able to take out loans up to $50,000 against their future earnings.
Well, like that kid from UConn.
Shabazz.
Who's going to bed hungry, he said, starving.
Yeah.
And they're selling they've been doing this for years, selling these kids jerseys. I know they don't have their names on them, but they have their number. I mean, everybody knows what they're talking about. I mean, that's an outrage.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Why anybody thinks that's okay? Yeah, so that's...
Get the kids some food. Come on.
Anyway, come on.
Yeah. Spurs beat the Mavs. The Spurs go 61-18. And finally, We've all heard of beer night, bobblehead night, bat night. How about underwear night?
Yeah.
The Bakersfield Condors, who play in the Western Division of the East Coast Hockey League, are holding Undie Sunday. When the Condors score their first goal Sunday night, fans are encouraged to throw their underwear on the ice. They're asking that the underwear be new and still in the box.
Oh, sure.
We're begging you, actually.
The underwear will be given to the less fortunate.
He scores! There comes the underwear.
Which reminds me of the Gary Player story, suggesting that Arnold Palmer pinched off a loaf there on the green at some tournament in Japan. That can't be true. I mean,
let's hope not.
Maybe he just cut some cheese or something, you know. So, but I mean that can't be a true story. So, I know Player said it was, but
Player has clearly lost it.
Yeah, I don't think he. I think he probably misspoke himself. I don't think he actually is suggesting that Palmer took his pants down.
No.
And set out a load there on the green. I just don't think he did. So.
Player's full of crap.
Yeah, he's an idiot. 18 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. Vinny McQueen's coming up. What's ahead in the briefing, Bernie?
We have some Mark Levin, great Mark Levin, Mike Francesa, and comedian Jim Norton.
Connell McShane has his mom jeans on today.
Yes, he does.
And I'm trying to get him to buy some diesel jeans. They're only about $300 a pair.
Yeah, let me do that.
On his musical Mount Rushmore. All right, 25 after the hour here at the Imus Morning program. Benny from Queens coming up, but right now it's time for a Bernard McGurk briefing, a Bernie briefing. And that's sponsored by My Pillow. Good morning, Bernard.
Morning, boss. It's been a big week for the Reverend Al Sharpton. Apparently, it turns out a lot of people don't like him that much. And comedian Jim Norton did a bit on him once, and it seems like a good time to perhaps reprise that bit from the brilliant Jim Norton. Take a listen.
I was in L.A. recently, and I had the weirdest, it was actually on the way home from that Aussie shoot, the weirdest celebrity sighting on the plane. Sitting in front of me, Al Sharpton was on the plane directly in front. And it was so weird to root for my own flight to crash. Talk about mixed emotions as the plane is going down. Yay, fatso.
My boy is off the hook,
yes,
is what I'm saying. And Mike Francesa, boss, well, first of all, you know, the Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler, his name is James Hellwig. Among other things, believe it or not, he defeated Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6 at some point in his career. It's a highlight. Well, he dropped dead the other day at a hotel lobby, just fell on the floor, 54 years old. Mike Francesa apparently doesn't really care about it. Take a listen to him, yesterday's show, Mike Francesa.
Bill in New Milford. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, what's up?
I just wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
With his passing yesterday, where do you rank the Ultimate Warrior among the all-time greats?
I have no idea. I could kill us. John in Oxford. What's up, John?
Boy, does he love the callers.
Not even like, oh, I'm sorry for his family. Oh.
Can you just smell the disdain in his voice?
Mike, I really would like to know your opinion.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah,
I could care less.
Goodbye.
In any case, and another radio great, Mark Levin, he got into a sort of sports-related topic.
You can't even make that up, can you?
They could praise him and throw gold at his feet. Like, yeah, what's up,
yeah.
Go, yeah.
They're just scum. Those callers are scum to him.
He couldn't care less about them.
Like, the guy's a little interested, you could tell. And this is Mike. He's just, Tony from Bay Ridge, what do you want?
It's your problem.
Now, listen, Mark Levin, another radio great boss, he was talking about Hank Aaron. Mark Levin apparently had a Hank Aaron baseball card since he was a kid.
Sure.
And, listen to him last night on his own radio show here on WABC and all over the country.
So there's not a whole lot that has changed, he said. This is outrageous. There is a whole lot that has changed. To say what he said about basically Republicans who are trying to stop Obama from destroying the economy, from turning our constitutional system on its head, is outrageous. I don't care how many damn home runs he hit, and I don't care what his name is. And I'm going to get rid of that card as fast as I can.
No longer a big fan, but the funny...
I don't know if I'd do that or not.
Right, sell it. put it on eBay or
on
something.
eBay, that bad boy, you know.
The funniest part of this particular segment with Mark Levin was he actually talked to the call screener, who happens to be our boy Guns here, and apparently Mr. Aaron, he said that he carries around a letter, a racist letter that he received years ago while he was playing, and Levin is like, listen, people call me all kinds of anti-Semitic things also. It doesn't mean that everybody that is against me is anti-Semitic. Anyway, take a listen.
I certainly do not compare the threats and the names that I receive here. Mr. Call Screener, open your microphone. How many calls do you get from people making outrageous statements about my religion?
A lot. Yeah.
How many calls do you get people calling me the K word, calling me this, that, and the other? You get a lot of them, don't you?
A lot of anti-Jew stuff, yep.
Every now and then we have to dump them when they're on the air.
Is that
and
guns?
they sneak through.
Yeah.
Those people don't represent Gentiles. Those people don't represent non-Jews. They are slime balls. They're lowlives. I understand that. This is a magnificent country.
A lot of anti-Jew
Well,
stuff.
Doesn't he know your name? Call screener?
I'm the help. I'm the call screener.
You're the help.
Great answer, Gus.
What an idiot. Well, Ben.
A lot of anti-Jew stuff.
Tons of anti-Jew.
Call screener, open your mic. How long have you worked with him?
6, 7 years.
6 or 7 years?
Is anybody back there? Hey!
I'm talking to you.
Hey!
Oh, God. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tell me about that anti-Semitic stuff, Mr. What's your name?
Vinny from Queens. Lou has Led Zeppelin on his musical Mount Rushmore, which proves he, too, is an idiot. Nothing we can do about it.
No, can't stop that.
No. And it's time now for Vinny from Queens. 24 till the hour with Tony Powell, Nat Candido, Conor McShane, Lou Rufino, the Gunsman of Warner Wolf.
Yeah.
St. Peter and God go out to play golf one day.
Okay.
And St. Peter wins honors on the first tee, and it's a beautiful, perfectly placed drive. God then tees his ball, and he hits a terrible slice into the woods.
Oh, man.
Just before the ball comes to rest, a squirrel comes scurrying down out of a tree, grabs the ball in his jaws, and takes off across the fairway. As the squirrel comes out into the open, an eagle swoops down out of the trees and grabs the squirrel and starts flying away. As the eagle soars over the green, a bolt of lightning strikes the eagle, and the eagle drops the squirrel, and the squirrel drops the ball, which lands on the green, bounces once, and rolls into the hole.
Good God.
St. Peter turns to God and says, "Are we going to play golf, or are you going to screw around?"
That's right. Yeah, come on.
Huh, great.
That's an oldie but goodie.
I'll be sure to use that at the bar this weekend to the girls.
They'll be gone before you finish the punchline.
Yeah, right.
Well, they won't be there to begin with. But.
Got any Warner?
Did I mention Lou Rufino as part of the...
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Whoa.
Wait a minute, I got a good one for you now. No.
Okay.
Everybody.
Priest, a rabbi, and a donkey.
I'll
going to
start
war.
with you, Lou. Who's your favorite of all time? Your favorite fat athlete?
Well, I remember this from a game. It was a basketball, Phoenix Suns, and this player was Oliver Miller.
Oh, yeah.
And he played for the Suns. He came on the court after like a long time. He had been injured or something. He had gained so much more weight. Marv Albert, when he was introduced, the camera was on him. Marv couldn't even hold back. He was like, "Look, at Oliver Miller. Just look at him. It was so apparent he had almost gained 100 pounds. He was so huge and almost couldn't play anymore. It was sad.
How about your Guns?
One would be Anthony Mason from the Knicks, who was always a fat slob, but also Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett was a legitimate player right there. So.
How about you, Warner?
Oh, Mickey Lolich of the Tigers.
He was a big
the 1968 World Series beat the Cardinals 3 games, and they asked him about being fat. He said, "I don't pitch with my stomach."
Yeah.
So take that.
Mine was easy because I'm an '80s Mets guy growing up. So El Cid Fernandez.
Nice.
How fat he was. He was a good pitcher, though, old Sid.
What do you think, Nat?
A former Expo, and I picked him based on his nickname, the Big Cat, El Gato, Andres Galarraga.
Oh, okay.
Got to be the round mound or rebound. Charles Barkley. Come on, man.
Terrible. Was Charles ever really fat, though?
Oh, yeah. Charles.
A lot of baby fat.
Yeah.
A lot of baby fat.
He had a big old butt, too.
So,
while you were looking, Lou.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
So I'm a big Johnny Manziel fan.
Hey, Johnny.
Are
Yes,
you?
we know.
No. You?
Not really.
I am. Kind of. Yeah, I like him.
How about you, Warner?
As a
No,
player.
Warner's not. Warner.
No, he's a hater.
How about you, Guns?
No, I mean, I don't.
I don't hate him.
You're going to be a big
hell's
star in
this
the
hater?
NFL. You guys are going to be, again, you guys are going to be wrong.
All right.
Guns.
Like you were wrong, all of you, about Jimmy Fallon. Bernard and Dagan were bad-mouthing Fallon. I said the guy's going to be perfect, which he is.
He's going to be a good NFL
And we're
player.
a month into the new Tonight Show, and he's still killing in the ratings. Isn't he, Bernard?
Isn't he, Bernard?
He is still
Thank
number
you.
one.
Thank you.
Yeah. For the time being.
Because the competition's so hard against him right now, so so he can't be number one.
Well, whatever. So, anyway, are you a Manziel guy, Lou?
I have nothing against him. I actually just hate him because he had that hot chick, Catherine Webb. So I'm,
Oh, no, that's A.J. McCarron. That's Catherine Webb.
Well, I mean, didn't he? He did have him though. He had her, didn't he? He did.
For Manziel?
Yes.
No. You're man, are you screwed up?
No, that's just McCarron's girlfriend.
No, it's only yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm screwed up.
Well, Manziel had his own.
Of course, Musburger. Right?
Yeah, he gets around.
Yeah, he gets around too. So.
Johnny football.
But the latest with A.J. McCarron, he and Miss Webb are going to get married in July. So while Manziel is in the gym working out, going to all these pro days, talking to John Gruden and all of these folks, A.J. McCarron is going to do a reality show leading up to the wedding when he and Miss Webb are going to get married. And when we last left, Wyatt reminded me of this. Yeah. When we last left A.J. McCarron, he dropped a ball in the Oklahoma Bowl game, threw a couple interceptions, and lost. So what say you about that?
I think it's stupid. I mean, all these other guys are getting ready to play ball, and he's looking at China patterns. It's stupid, man. Come on.
Isn't that right?
Idiotic. I mean, his only focus should be on football right now. He's not established as a pro yet. He really needs to just focus. I mean, I wouldn't be able to focus.
And he's not a top pick anyway.
He needs
what do
to
you
get.
think, Guns?
I think it shows who wears the pants in the relationship, but also it shows he probably doesn't have that much faith in his football ability if he's worrying about a freaking reality show that Carly and Dagan are going to slobber over.
Yeah,
you know?
because he needs to get used to getting on TV. He's on his way to being an SEC network analyst like McElroy, that other quarterback, and Tebow. Exactly right. That's where he's going to end up, the three of them.
Like Guns wouldn't listen to anything she told him to do. Too. Are you kidding?
Yeah, okay.
She'd be leading you around on a leash and you'd be fine. Are you kidding?
I've got standards.
What do you think, Warner?
I think just from a PR standpoint, he should wait till the draft is over.
Yeah.
And
See
then
if he's going to get selected by anybody.
Yes.
And Lou, you think?
I think it's doomed. I think it's Tony's right. Everybody's right. It's a stupid move. Plus, he's going to mess up his relationship, too. These things never go well, these reality things.
Then she really will have
And then she will be with Manziel because he'll be doing fine.
Lou had a
And then I'll be proved right. Yes.
5th round draft pick and out of the league in 2 years and no woman in 3. I mean, that's just a stupid plan, man.
Hey, have any of you guys seen Mad Dog's? He's going to be on about an hour. You seen his TV show on the MLB network?
I saw a little bit of it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I love Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I hate Francesa. But Mad Dog is so animated and like he's like a
wait a minute. Why do you hate Francesa?
Well, as you know, I am a call-in guest on a lot of these fan shows.
Wait, how many?
They know me.
How many times have you called?
They know me.
How many times have you called in?
I'd say about 100 times in my life.
100?
But I've never called into Francesa.
How long have you waited on hold?
He is the probably about 28 minutes is the longest.
Do you get on the air?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Whose show have you been on?
I've been on Bill and
Joe and Evan.
Joe and Evan. I've been on the overnights with Moose or Paige. but I never call into Francesa. He's always talking over his these people they're fans of his. He doesn't let them talk, get their point across.
Well, that's fine.
He's
we're
rude.
We're not here to beat up on my friend Mike Francesa.
Not Grandison, you next.
You have a choice of watching his TV show or Mad Dogs. Who are you going to watch?
Obvious, Mad Dog.
Now, Tony?
You got to go Mad Dog.
Lou?
That's must see TV.
I love them both, but I know what Chris Russo's going to do. I know exactly what he's going to do. The thing with Mike is you don't know what he's going to do. Yeah. So that's why I like to watch him. He is surreal. His show is surreal. You never know. He could fall asleep. He could drink 7 Diet Cokes right in a row, knock them all over, dismiss callers.
By the way, as fat as he is, he could, God forbid that he does, he could keel over too any minute.
Anything could happen. I know what Chris is going to do.
Guns?
The Francesa's great just because of the love, affection that his callers have on him and how much they slobber over him. But as far as listening goes, I like Russo because he's got ADHD. He's always going. He's a nut.
What do you think,
What did you say?
Well, I think they're both fine, but they don't fit into my schedule. I'm not listening to the radio from 1 to 6:30, and I'm not.
Warner has no guts. Here's what Warner will do. Warner will badmouth Nat, but he won't. But he won't say anything about any other announcer. You're a sniveling worm, Warner.
Really hurt.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the question was, who was the
I know what the question was. I asked it. Be quiet. What do you think?
Lou kind of made me rethink it a little because I agree with that it is fun to watch Francesa to see what'll come up. But I'm a Russo guy. I watched the show earlier this week, and it's actually hilarious. You'd like it. He's on there critiquing.
Well, we played a clip from it.
Some of the announcers. He's critiquing the calls they're making. And then he gets this guy Eric Burns. Remember Eric Burns used to play for Oakland, and the two of them are screaming about the Giants and whether Matt Cain's worth the money. I mean, who could spend 10 minutes on that? But the way they did
Eric, you know I'm right. Come on, Eric.
Exactly right.
It's pure entertainment.
It's like watching a beagle chase a laser pointer. That's what it's like.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, that's what.
All right, quarter till the hour. I'll start with you on this one, Warner. Ryan Braun
Love you, Tony.
hit 3 home runs the other night. Do you think he's back on the juice?
Well, they take random tests now, and you can be sure that they're taking his test. I think the question is, if he's that good, why did he need to do the steroids?
Yeah, how about that now?
You know about Citizens Bank Park, right? That's where the game was taking place. It's
Do
a
I know
bandbox.
about it? Oh, yeah, I know all about it.
Let me tell you a little bit about it. You can hit a ball out of that park.
Really?
So I am not going to jump on.
Wait.
I'm not, listen,
Imus couldn't even walk to the plate in that park.
It'll be a 2-2 to Imus.
he led steals in high school. No, but seriously.
Pitch.
Here comes the oxygen tank. Onto the field.
That'll be fun.
It is high.
But no, balls fly out of this park guy, man. So I'm not gonna say that he's back on the steroids after all he did in the offseason, calling the fans. I believe in second chances. So Ryan Braun,
are you kidding?
I'm with you, brother.
What he did to that guy who was a tester.
Yeah, he is a scum.
He is scum.
He's a dirtbag.
Where's the A-Rod?
Second chances, guys. Come on.
He came back on the press conference and badmouthed the guy. He wasn't contrite at all.
He ruined the guy's life.
He escaped by a hair.
Well, sometimes people got
technicality.
get thrown under the bus.
Let's hope he's back on.
I want to get caught
again.
He got away with it, and then he got caught again afterwards. So I mean, come on.
All right, 14 till the hour. We're in the middle of a disjointed Vinny McQueen. Derek Jeter, I watched a little bit the other night, and I guess he thought he jacked it out of the park, but he didn't. He's kind of loafing to first base, but that would be appropriate if you thought you'd hit it out.
No.
What happened?
No, they jumped all over Robinson Cano last year for the same thing.
Oh, they did?
Oh, sure. But he's Derek Jeter. You can't touch him.
Okay, well, he's getting some criticism. What do you think, Tony?
I think that it's time for Derek. I mean, he obviously announced his retirement.
Sure.
But he can no longer play his position anymore. I think it's just time for him to.
He could never really play. His range at shortstop was never really.
Whoa!
What game were you watching? Thank you, Kyle. He was never really known for his range at shortstop, so it's diminishing. It's even worse.
He's one of the previous shortstops in baseball.
Not defensensely. Never has been. Never has been. He's always been overrated defensively.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are
I jumped in the stands and caught a ball. I'm a hero.
There's nothing to do with that.
Lou, is that right?
No, there's tons of data on it.
His fielding is not his biggest thing, obviously.
Well, what is his biggest thing?
Well, he is a leader. First of all, he's a leader. He is one of the best pressure players that's played in a long time, in 25 years.
He's a great offensive player.
Yes, he's a great. In the pressure, when
is
it
that right,
counts.
Guns?
No, you guys are crazy. He's got one of the best backhand overthrow to first bases in the league.
Come on,
You're all Mets fans. You're all ridiculous, ignorant Mets fans.
You're a disgruntled loser Mets fan.
It has nothing to do. Look at my shortstop.
Nat is right.
You are a mess at shortstop. shortstop at the Mets.
Nat
Are you
is
kidding?
100%
I'm sorry, Warner, was that you?
Well, now Warner's slicking up to Nat.
Yeah,
All right, hang on. Final question. Anybody care anything about the Masters?
No.
Nobody's watching now.
Is it because Tiger's not in it?
Exactly.
That's exactly why.
I have nobody to boo when I'm at the bar this weekend because they'll boo you.
And by the way, Golf Digest, the LPGA, speaking of golf, they're all upset, the women are, because they haven't put any women players on the cover since 2008.
Oh, man.
They want to sell magazines.
Whatever happened to Nancy Lopez?
Hello. Man, come on. All right, thanks, you guys.
Imus in the morning.
Well, speaking of sports, Christopher Mad Dog Russo's coming up.
Hey, Daddy.
That's our. We'll check with Rob and Tony back in the green room, see how Larry's doing.
Oh, yeah.
If Larry's still here, maybe he's...
Nat.
Yeah, so St. Peter and God are playing golf. Stop me if you've heard this. I'm trying to convince Dagan to wear a merkin.
Wear a what?
A merkin.
I don't know what that is.
Puts a little fuzz on the kiwi.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
No, don't want to see.
No.
Imus in the morning.
No, Rob.
What?
No.
What? You don't like fruit?
Oh, Jesus.
All right, when are we going to do the calisthenics?
I haven't heard from Larry. I don't know if he likes this or not. Because he has a pretty good sense of humor. But
It's a tribute.
yeah.
We're going to do a musical version of his life.
Just an idiot.
Rolling down the river. I'm writing a song about Stephen Colbert. I do it later.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Stephen Colbert.
Oh.
Pretty good.
It's probably a pretty good choice for them, I guess, huh? I don't know.
Yeah.
I always kind of liked him.
Yeah. Beats Chelsea Handler.
Well, I like her, too.
But she'd already slept with everybody at CBS, so it wasn't where she was going to get in.
Are you suggesting that Colbert hasn't, or?
Oh, no, but he just did it more recently.
No, don't do that.
I'll wipe my mouth, will you?
Oh, this is not fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Imus in the morning.
Well, Chris Mad Dog Russo is coming up, and we'll talk to him. We're trying to figure out how old Madeline Imus was. She's Donnie's kid. Right. Donnie's Fred's son. And so we put on the board, our birthday board that we put up on the Fox Business Network, 7 or 8. Is that what we did?
Yeah, there she is. Happy birthday.
But we've been able to determine now, because I just heard from Madeline's father, that she is, in fact, as near as we can tell, 8.
All right, Madeline.
So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to her. And all that. So. Who won the game last night, Warner?
Well, the Yankees won the game, but that was only half the story. Michael Pineda was caught with what looks like pine tar in his pitching hand.
Oh, man.
And it was the TV guys that caught it on the close-ups. And, of course, Joe Girardi said, I don't know anything about it.
Right.
So we'll hear from him. And Bill Haas has the first-round lead of the Masters.
What did the pitcher say about it when they asked him?
Oh, he said it was just dirt because he sweats too much.
Sure.
And Eli Manning.
Well, why are you laughing?
Well, because I don't believe him.
Oh.
Yes.
That's it. Simple.
And Eli Manning will undergo surgery on an ankle he injured way back in December.
Thought he'd already had the surgery and it went well.
Yeah, it did. I thought it was a tease coming up. But the question...
What was the tease? That he will have surgery?
Yeah.
Well, he had the surgery.
He's had the surgery.
Yeah.
So now we know it was successful. He'll be running in June.
Cross that off.
Yeah. So if he tried to, they tried to just.
You're not drinking now, are you?
No.
I mean, what do you do? Does it carry over from
no
pound of wine to watch Jeopardy, and then one thing leads to another, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, you're still at it?
That's why you can't watch Chris Russo.
Yeah, so.
Did you hear the story about St. Peter's and God?
No, I didn't hear that one. So. Lubica told me that story, so blame it on him.
Good one, Mike.
What's coming up in business news, Dagan?
Looking at the futures after that nasty sell-off yesterday, and also if you want a pair of those Google glasses, you can now get them. One day. I'll tell you more about it.
What was Warner going to do? He said Eli Manning's going to have surgery. That was going to be the tease?
Well, the Eli Manning surgery is in the news,
Yes.
so he was going to tell you about it coming up. Then probably what we're going to do, want to talk about how significant that was for the Giants, I guess?
Yes, because, well, the first thing is they tried to just rehab it without surgery since last December, and it wasn't working.
Right.
So now you have to say, well, maybe he has time.
How did the surgery go?
Fine.
Okay.
So that's settled.
Yeah.
Well, what did they say? The surgeon, all of them?
Oh, yeah. Success.
Okay. Well, how about the rehab part?
Well, he won't be able to run till probably early June.
When does football season start?
Well, the exhibition season starts in August. But he certainly has to. He has a new offensive coordinator and also, he has some...
To learn some new plays.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to move. And that ankle's... I don't know if you ever broke your ankle before. I did. It took a long time.
No, milady, I don't have any ankles. I'm sorry, milady. Can't help you there.
Oh, God. Let's check back in the green room, see what's going on there. So,
looks like a lot's going on.
What's going on, Tony?
Well, we were working on Mr. Flint's song.
What do you mean, Mr. Flint's song?
Yes.
I wrote a song about Stephen Colbert.
Oh. You did?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't type it. I dictated it. I was going to sing it for you.
Oh, good.
All right.
1, 2, 3, hit it.
Stephen Colbert is getting Letterman's chair, and he'll be a multimillionaire. Rush Limbaugh thinks the decision redefines what is funny, and his position is CBS will waste their money. So rush before you get way too overblown. Take an oxycodone, say a prayer, and go kiss Stephen's rear in Times Square.
Hello, Daddy.
No.
Stephen Colbert, he just doesn't care. He likes to shave his pubic hair. He shaves it all nice and tidy to look like a bald eagle Monday to Friday, which, although it's not illegal, would surely be considered bad taste, like the flag being defaced. But you'll stare at what's there in Colbert's underwear.
Take it home.
Oh, this is beneath even us.
Oh, yeah, you think so, huh? So,
Hello, Daddy.
St.
No,
Peter
shut
and
up.
God are golfing.
Here is...
I have golf jokes, too,
Okay, I'm sure you do. Here is Conor McShane with the news.
All right, Iman, thank you very much. We did receive word in from South Africa that the trial of Oscar Pistorius is finished up for the day. It'll resume Monday, but we had this update that it just came across before they wrapped up. The prosecutor was telling Pistorius
That's not funny.
that he fatally shot his girlfriend through the bathroom door as they were talking. So this apparently is very dramatic. Maybe we'll get the audio of it a little bit later on. But the prosecutor insists Pistorius intentionally killed this woman, Reva Steenkamp, and he made the point when he was cross-examining him that, quote, she was standing behind the toilet door, the bathroom door, talking to you when you shot her, so that they were having some sort of a conversation. Pistorius said, no, that's not true. And that's how it pretty much wrapped up with the prosecutor saying the only reasonable explanation for the shooting is that Pistorius killed Reva after they had a fight. So that would be obviously different than what he's been claiming, but that they were having some sort of conversation. So it's wrapped up for the week. 10 people dead, dozens more injured after this bus full of high school students crashed in Northern California, about 100 miles from Sacramento, burst into flames. This is a woman named Lisa on the scene who says she tried to help out in any way she could.
I made my way up to the gentleman that they had on the stretcher, and I started praying, and I didn't stop until the paramedic, because I had asked the paramedic if I could please call a loved one for him, and they said no.
It's a bus and a FedEx truck. In the accident, the kids on the bus were going to visit a local college. 40-some kids on the bus. Again, 10 are dead.
Oh, my God.
The big political story is Kathleen Sebelius. There'll be more on this throughout the day today. The Health and Human Services Secretary is out, resigning, following the rollout of Obamacare and all the problems there. The president set to appoint his budget director to be the new
terrific
secretary, Sylvia Matthews Burwell. So that'll be announced later today officially. Yeah. And then we have the shoe-throwing incident involving Hillary Clinton, which out in Vegas.
Where's the security at these events?
This is, we have the video on the Fox Business Network of her, as you said earlier, ducking a little bit late. She's giving a speech in Vegas. Some woman gets up and throws his shoe. We have the whole thing, don't we, Tom, here where we could play the
yeah, just give me 1 second.
So Hillary...
Well, I didn't give you 1 second. Well, they don't
1
have
second, and it's done.
Okay.
So Hillary's on stage there. We just saw the video of it, but so we talked about this earlier. The reaction is she has to come up with something quick to say, and this woman throws the shoe at her. But here's how the whole thing sounded.
It's already recycling about 2.
Whoa.
What was that, a bat?
A what?
Was that a bat? That's somebody throwing something at me?
Blonde woman being
Is that part of Cirque du Soleil? My goodness, I didn't know solid waste management was so controversial. Thank goodness she didn't play softball like I did.
Hillary Clinton.
Tip your bartenders, ladies and gentlemen.
Be here all week.
But then the lady they let out was a bleach blonde babe, an attractive woman, actually. Yeah. And as I pointed out earlier, boss, we're just connecting the dots, and you get this exclusively on Fox Business. A month ago, Bill Clinton in Las Vegas took a picture with 2 hookers, and one of them looks...
Did he know they were hookers?
There's a dispute about whether or not he knew, but they definitely were hookers. In fact, I'll tell you, they're from a certain ranch. The hooker's name, who looks like the girl who threw the shoe, is Barbie Girl. Oh. And it was at
probably not her real name.
And the other one is Ava.
Oh, really, Don?
Ava Adora. But
sure.
The authorities are going to look into this, see if there's a connection here. There's some sort
you think it's the same woman?
A disgruntled hooker, maybe. But we're just pointing out the facts. We don't know anything else beyond that. That Bill Clinton took a picture with a girl who looks just like the girl who threw the shoe.
It's 14 after the hour. You and Robert both going to hell in a handbasket or some basket.
Until
kind of a basket.
Well,
anyway, Connell continues, or whoever was talking.
Or I'll be head of the FBI in about a month.
That'd be great. Director McGurk, Pope Francis has asked for forgiveness for damage.
What did he do now?
Well, not what he did, but he's asked for forgiveness for damage to children caused by sexual abusers among the clergy. So this is some
good step.
New commentary, quotes carried by Vatican Radio. The Pope described the abuse as moral damage carried out by men of the church.
Where's Benny? Is he still there?
Said sanctions would be imposed. You're alluding to the Pope Emeritus, Benedict.
Yeah.
16th. Yeah, he's still
skulking around the hallways there.
I don't know if that's the way we're putting it, but
like an I Spy deal.
The current Pope, Pope Francis, strongly defending the Roman Catholic Church's
peeking
record
up behind one of the curtains
of tackling these abuses by the priests. So.
Dopey hats on. So.
This just in from the Vatican. I know you enjoy that. So. Dopey hats.
All right. Did you do your business news, Dagan?
No, sir, I did not.
Do you want to do it?
Yes, I would love to.
Here is Dagan McDowell with the Fox Business News. Good morning, Dagan.
Good morning, sir. After that brutal sell-off yesterday, the NASDAQ suffering its biggest one-day decline in 2.5 years. The futures are lower across the board, a 72-point loss on the Dow futures right now. And hankering to get your hands on a pair of those internet-connected Google glasses. They're called just glass because, well, the developers are so pretentious. But on Tuesday of next week, anyone can buy a pair of these glasses. They're $1,500 a pop. You got to go online to Google to register to get a pair. So if you want to look like a total glass ahead, have at it.
Or as they're calling them, glass holes.
Yeah. Why would you want a pair?
Well, they're internet connected. There's a camera to them. I just don't.
What do they do?
You can surf the internet, take photographs, anything. A lot of things you can do on your phone, you can do can't make a phone call, but you can surf the internet with them.
You're totally.
You know what? You know what they're going to be used for? You can take dirty photographs of people, and they don't know. That's right. Right? In the bathroom.
So there is a good use for them.
Right, on the subway.
What do you mean by dirty?
Well, up the skirt, baby. Up the skirt.
Your eyes? With them on your head?
Yeah, you don't. There actually been problems with that.
Wait, you wouldn't have to lay on the floor to look
Well,
up
I mean,
the dress?
just look. I mean, you're sitting across from some lady on the subway, Bernie, and just look down.
That's a good idea to be. I mean, there's got to be radiation involved, doesn't there?
What?
Yeah, you wouldn't. It's right up against your noggin. Yep.
No, that'll really.
Well, how does that make any sense?
That's going to deter everyone.
Otherwise, you'd be doing it in a heartbeat, like all these
Right.
walking around.
I would have ordered them right now.
Yeah.
On my phone, except not on that basis.
No.
I won't even. I won't even put a phone into my ear.
You don't need eye cancer.
17 after there. You are such an idiot. Anyway, but a good idiot. Have you done sports yet, Warner?
No.
Well, we'll do it now.
Okay.
All right.
First round of the Masters, Bill Haas has the lead, 4 under par, 68. He has a one-stroke lead over defending champion Adam Scott, 2012 champion Bubba Watson, and former British Open champ Louis Oosthuizen. Roy McIlroy tied 3 back at 71. And Phil Mickelson, who's won the Masters 3 times, had a triple bogey 7 at 7 and a double bogey 7 at 15. His worst round ever at the Masters, a 76. And may miss the cut. What? Here was Mickelson on his round.
I don't feel like my game is off. I really don't. I feel solid with my ball striking. I feel great with the putter. I hit all those chips solid and flush. I was just off.
Oh, I guess he's watching a different tournament. Yankees beat the Red Sox 4-1, but the story, Michael Pineda appeared to have a dark, gooey substance on his pitching hand in the first 4 innings. And it was caught on television by the Red Sox announcers, Jerry Remy and Don Orsillo of Nesson.
Certainly look like pine tarings, and you can see down around the bottom of the hand.
What would that help you do?
Certainly get a good grip on the baseball, and especially the slider.
Man, the slider just dropped. You could see the Yankees just, striking out. So they asked Joe Girardi about possible pine tar on Pineda's hand.
There's really not much for me to speak on concerning that.
Does that mean
there's nothing for me to really...
You didn't see it, or you
I
don't
never
want
saw
to
it.
answer?
There's nothing really for me to talk about.
You didn't see it. That's what you're saying.
What I said is I didn't see it on his hand, is what I said. And number 2, I said I don't really have anything to say about it.
Taking the 5th.
What's he going to do? Sell out his own player?
That's right.
Well, first he says something about it.
Yeah.
And then he says, I don't have anything to say about it.
That's right.
Well, why did you say something about it?
Yeah, he caught himself.
Dope.
Brewers 6 in a row sweep the Phillies. NBA last night, the Spurs go to a league best 61-18. Beat the Mavericks 109-100, and the Nuggets beat the Warriors 100-99. And Manny Pacquiao 2-1 favorite to win tomorrow night's rematch against Timothy Bradley after Bradley won that controversial split decision.
Is that a pay-per-view deal?
Yes, it is.
Oh, good. I won't be able to get it.
$59.95. I don't know if you want to buy it, Pacquiao is now 35 years old. And he was knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez.
Yeah, we don't need that.
And we're never going to see a Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. Mayweather's now 37. So even if they fought, it's 5 years too late. So that's the deal there.
Well, I'll either be out to dinner with Jeff Markham and his wife, Pam, or I'll be at some rodeo. To be determined.
Okay.
So I won't be near the ability to buy this fight because even though you told me not to, I still would. And then fall asleep before it comes on.
That's right.
20 minutes after the hour. What's coming up in the briefing,
we
Bernie?
have Stephen Ching Chong Ding Dong Colbert and Gavin Cockhead coming up.
Sounds good.
Keep it where it is.
And then we'll talk to Christopher Mad Dog Russo. On Russo's musical Mount Rushmore, he's got Springsteen. He's a Christie-like fan of Springsteen.
Put on your best dress, baby, and darling, fix your hair up right, 'cause there's a party, honey, way down beneath the neon lights all day. You've been working that hard line, now tonight you're gonna have a good time. I work 5 days a week, loading crates down on the dock. I take my heart and
portion of the Irish Sport program sponsored by EntitledBooks.com. Read more, pay less. Sign up for your free ebook today at EntitledBooks.com. Well, let's do a Bernie briefing at 28 minutes after the hour. That's sponsored by the Hackensack University Medical Center, and here with it is Bernard McGirt. Good morning, Mr. McGirt.
Good morning, Mr. Imus. A couple of days ago, our friend from Fox News, Heather Childers, she made a little mistake. She confused the NCAA with the NAACP. Well, yesterday on MSNBC, they had this one of their hosts, this snotty little weasel named Ronan Farrow, apparently did the same thing. He was interviewing two people. One of them was the head of the NAACP. Take a listen.
To dissect the significance of today's speech, I want to go to our panel on this issue, Michael Beschloss, a presidential historian, and also Ben Jealous, the former head of the NCAA. Tell me, gentlemen.
There we go. There you go. Just to illustrate that it could happen to anybody. Of course, that won't get as much play as the one the Fox person committed. But he did.
I wonder whatever happened to Michael Beschloss. I used to make bestsellers, all these books, but he turned into a weasel, didn't he, like the rest of them?
Well, it's MSNBC. Anyway, the little shrimp there, he ended up apologizing and correcting himself. I just must point that out. Now, Jimmy Kimmel last night. Let's go straight, Jessica, to unnecessary censorship as I look at the clock. And take a listen to this, boss.
It is This Week in Unnecessary Censorship.
Before the national championship game tonight, Kevin Ollie and John Calipari each other and said, "I love you."
Britney Spears got 2 big dicks yesterday.
I think I might have
I just said, wow, anybody thinks my is bigger than your is an interesting character.
Now listen carefully, you guys. The next time you're don't give up.
I've eaten a lot of places, but I don't think I've ever had somebody come out and offer my ass.
I am going to take Snoopy and him forever. I told him to get in my car. We're going to be quiet about it.
What were you going to say before, Bernie?
I just had a different clip. But
what is it?
It's your friend Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, let me say
actually,
him.
You like him. Well, he has this show on Fox on Sunday nights called Cosmos. President Obama does the intro to it, and Kimmel asked him how he got that, how he got Obama to do it. Take a listen.
President Obama did the intro of the show for you.
Yeah.
How the hell did that happen?
I have no idea. We were just informed that he was thinking about doing it. And we're like, great, that's fantastic. He knows it's on Fox, right? And he did a little intro to the show. It was something else.
You got to get him on Family Guy.
I always thought Family Guy would be the show.
Yeah, really.
Not as funny as the interview got, unfortunately, but there you go. He also talked about the movie, the making the Western out there in Santa Fe.
Oh, the book is a scream.
Yes. He said the movie's coming out in about a month or so.
A Million Ways to Die in the West, something like that?
Something like that.
It's a scream.
Yeah.
Book's a scream.
Well, he's a funny dude.
I can't understand why the book's not a bestseller.
Got me.
Oh, man, A Million Ways to Die in the West. From the first page. It's a scream. So, all right, Mad Dog's next. For some inexplicable reason, Russo has Jackson Brown on his musical Mount Rushmore. What?
Down on the boulevard, they take it hard. They look at life with such disregard. They say it can't be won the way the game is run. But if you choose to stay, you wind up playing anyway. It's okay.
Well, 22 till the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program on the radio all over the country and on the Fox Business Network. Please welcome now from Sirius XM Channel 86, Mad Dog Radio, and from the Major League Baseball Network, Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Good morning, Mr. Russo.
Good morning, Daddy.
You know what we did the other day?
What'd you do?
Played a clip from you from the MLB show.
You know what? They all told me. That's awfully nice here. Is that me screaming and yelling about the 7-inning situation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I can't tell you how good they've been. And, remember, the owners own the MLB network, and as it turns out, they've let me do anything I want. I mean, if I want to go kill baseball, I want to kill a player, I want to kill a team, not an issue whatsoever. I can't tell you how good they've been. A lot of times in that situation, you got to wonder if they're going to let you get away with what you want to get away with. But there's been no problem. So I killed somebody about the 7-inning thing because everybody wants to correct baseball. You notice that, Don? Oh, it's too slow, it's too long, and nobody watches it, which is you get sick of listening to it. So that's what made me respond with what you heard.
It's no longer America's pastime. Are you aware of that?
Well, it's a different. I know football is bigger, Don. It's not. Well, let me tell you something right now. The rodeo ain't freaking America's pastime either.
Oh, snap.
That's a shot.
Oh, let me tell you something. Rodeo is far more American than a bunch of Finocchios in little tight pants playing baseball.
What are you talking about? You grew up on those railroad tracks out in Pasadena watching Koufax and Drysdale for crying out loud.
Hey, what about that?
So anyway, the Ultimate Warrior, big-time wrestler, 54 years old, dropped dead the other day, 54 years old. God bless him.
That. Yep.
And so my question for you is, where does he rank with the great wrestlers?
I love you, Don. I can't hear. Hello, Louie. How are you, pal?
Christopher, I miss you. What's up?
That's Lou Rufino, for those of you who don't know on the Imus program. I did not get into that Ultimate Warrior stuff. I know he passed away. I know he's one of the all-time greats. I can't sit there and be an expert on something I know very little about, Don. So you may have done something. Are you into that pro wrestling stuff, Don?
No.
Nor am I. So to me, it was a death that I noticed, but I did not talk about it. So I'm the wrong guy to ask about that, to be honest with you.
Your former partner took a call about it the other day. You want to hear it?
I heard this. Yeah, I didn't hear the call. I'm sure Mike wasn't too pleased either. Let me hear about it. Go ahead.
Here's the call. Fire it up, Lou.
Bill in New Milford. What's up, Bill?
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I just wanted to ask your opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
With his passing yesterday, where do you rank the Ultimate Warrior among the all-time greats?
I have no idea. I could kill us. John in Oxford. What's up, John?
I don't care. Get off.
Hey, baby. Well, I would have done the same exact thing, to be honest with you. I mean, Don, do you care about the Ultimate Warrior, Don? Are you all wrapped up in that?
The guy died.
Come on.
Hello, Chris.
Come on, Don, you don't care about that. Now, stop.
Of course I do.
No, you don't. Of course you do, my rear end. You watch more sports than anybody in America, for crying out loud.
Listen. Hey, I turned on the show yesterday at 1 o'clock. Where were you?
The TV show, it started yesterday at 12.
I did.
Because on days in where there are day games, we are on at 12. So if they have a 1 o'clock game, we're on at 12. Today we're on at 1.
Are you into the Masters?
Yeah, I am.
I'll
tell you, Don, the Masters took a tremendous hit without Tiger. They can sit there and say anything they want. The 4 weekend badges are very inexpensive. The par 3 badge on Wednesday went for $150. Last year, that par 3 badge, a ticket to get in, was $850. There is no sizzle to that golf tournament. Nobody's going to get wrapped up on Bill Haas. We saw Adam Scott win last year. Louis Oosthuizen, whatever his name is. Nobody's that wrapped up on him either. Mickelson's at +4, so that's a major problem. The Masters is going to have a rough weekend, let's be honest.
Nice round from Mickelson yesterday. Shot a 76 or 77. And they asked him about it. He said, I thought it was a good round.
No, I know. Well, he had 2 bad holes. He hit the ball in the water, and then, of course, on 7, he hit the triple bogey. I've had trouble getting into it. So I have, I hate to say it, I've been so wrapped up in the baseball in the first 2 weeks, and I'm trying to figure out my schedule to be able to handle the 2 different things I got to do. But, I watch.
Wait a minute.
Are you going to sit there and watch it all weekend now without Tiger and not Mickelson in the mix? You're not going to watch this.
What are the 2 different things you have to do?
Well, I got to prepare for the TV.
Right.
Meeting every day at 9 o'clock. Get that organized. It's an hour show. And then after that's done, I got to think about the radio show.
Sure.
That's not that easy, Donnie boy.
You're not blowing off the radio show for the TV thing, are you?
No, I am a radio man. You know that better than anybody in America. I love the radio.
Hey, how about Michael Panetta with the Pine Tar? What do you think of that?
No, I don't have it. It was a slick night. I don't have that big a problem with it. Lester. Every pitcher does it. We saw Kenny Rogers do it in the World Series. against Detroit. Every pitcher in the world does it. That's why you didn't see the Red Sox go out there and make a big issue of it, because their guys do the same thing that Pineda does. So although you're not supposed to have it, the Red Sox, if they go out there and cause a stink, then the Yankees are going to get on the Red Sox, because a lot of people think that Lester and Buckholz are the same thing. So, it's sort of an unwritten rule that you can get away with it. That's why I don't think the Red Sox do anything about it.
Talking with Christopher Mad Dog Russo, who's on Mad Dog Radio, Channel 86, on Sirius XM, and on the Major League Baseball Network. On DirecTV, it's Channel 213. And he comes out at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, unless these morons are playing a game during the day, and then he comes on
at noon.
Hey,
Correct. Yeah.
the May cover of Golf Digest magazine features Paulina Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky's daughter, who's marrying a golfer. Yes, Dustin Johnson.
And she's a very attractive young lady.
Very attractive, absolutely. Yeah. And I know a lot of the LPGA players are all upset because she was on the cover the same time period that they had their first major.
Sure.
The bottom line is, are you going to go buy them? Are you going to go buy Golf Digest if Seaweed Pack is on? Or are you going to buy Golf Digest if Wayne Gretzky's daughter's on, who, as you said, is beautiful? Now, you're going to buy it if Wayne Gretzky's daughter's on. That's the bottom line.
Well,
Golf Digest is in the business of selling Golf Digests. I mean, they're not in the business of making sure that we do the right thing. They got to sell magazines. I have no problem with what they did, none at all.
But the LPGA, they haven't had a woman golfer on since 2008.
There's a reason for that, Don. I mean,
well, what would be that reason, Chris?
Well, I mean, are you that wrapped up in watching the LPGA? No.
Well,
are you going home on weekends to tell?
Why are you trying to turn this?
To tell your lovely wife, honey, I can't go watch Wyatt, bounce on a horse this weekend.
Why don't you just
watch the LPGA Senior Open? Come on, Donnie.
Why don't you just answer my questions instead of asking me yours?
That's a good line.
It's outrageous.
Well, so what's up with that?
That's funny.
Hey,
I cannot get into the complaints of the LPGA. I cannot get into the complaints that there hasn't been a lady on the Golf Digest in 5 years. I mean, there's a reason for that. It's not a big sport. I hate to say it. That's just the way it is. It doesn't sell. Doesn't produce revenue. Nobody in America is that wrapped up in the LPGA Tour. I mean, that's reality. Whether they like to admit it or not, that's reality.
Hey, are you still married to that same woman?
Of course, Jeannie Russo. What's the matter? Of course I am.
How's she doing?
I love that. You on something else.
She's a nice lady.
I mean, geez, I've been married for 1995. Was that 19 years? I've been married a long time. And by the way, my son yesterday just ran his first track event at the high school as a freshman and won the 400 meters. So that's good, too.
What did he run it in?
58.7.
Pretty good. How old is he?
15.
That's not bad.
I don't know enough about track times, but for the first time ever, sounds like that's a pretty good time. I'm trying to track down some friends of mine who can give me a little feel.
Well, if he could run every 400 meter, if he could run 4 of them, that would be a sub 4 minute mile.
Yeah, but you can't. That's not going to happen.
Well, I understand, but
I mean, if you do the math, it obviously it increases that way. Where are you going this weekend, Don, for Wyatt? Let me hear.
We're going to Huntsville, Texas.
When are you flying?
And as soon as I get off the air here in a few minutes.
All right. And when is his? Give me the weekend Wyatt schedule. When is?
We're not going to give you any kind of anything. What is the matter with you?
You answer the question.
You hydrate him properly. You feed him properly, so when he gets on that horse, he's happy, ready to go. What do you do here?
Well, he's ready to go. Hey, Tony Powell works on a program.
I love Tony.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it was a good idea, a good question to begin with, but I've since been corrected, and I agree with him that Calipari apparently, although Lupica tells me he doesn't know if it's true or not, but it's been rumored for the Lakers job and rumored for the Knicks job. But how about Kevin Ollie, who just won the NCAA championship with UConn? How come? Well, I mean, where's the love for him?
Kevin Ollie will coach in the NBA someday. He's only 41 years of age. I don't know if he's going to coach in the NBA tomorrow, but he is definitely. Now he lives in Glastonbury, Connecticut. So he likes it here. But he definitely will coach in the NBA. He played 11 years for a million teams. I don't think Calipari is going anywhere. I think the pressure of Kentucky is enormous. It probably gets to be annoying. I think the one and done thing gets to be a little tedious, but I don't think Calipari is going anywhere. He's not going to the Knicks. Calipari is not going to be hired by Phil Jackson. I don't think the Lakers are going there either. You're right about Ollie. Ollie's did a heck of a job. Ollie will coach in the NBA. He's only 41 years of age, Ollie will coach in the NBA one day. Won't be in the next year or two.
Fine.
But eventually.
What time are you on Sirius today?
3 o'clock.
So what time is that in Texas, 2?
That's 2 o'clock. Now, yeah.
Because I have
back to Wyatt.
I have Sirius XM in my.
Back to Wyatt.
Hey, pipe down. I have Sirius XM in my Escalade,
right?
And I'll be getting in it about. Well, I'll be in it around 3 o'clock Eastern time.
Oh, perfect! You can hear the monologue.
So I expect to get a shout out from Mad Dog.
Yeah, you know what? If you give me a little Huntsville, Texas. Where is Huntsville, Texas?
It says it's about 65 miles from Houston.
It's on the beach.
And when does he compete? Tomorrow or today?
Well, no, he may compete tomorrow night. We're not sure.
What do you mean? What are you going to Huntsville?
Well, he practices.
What do you mean you're not sure? Is he competing or not?
Well, he's going to the state finals in June, the high school state finals.
Okay, well that's number one. What do you mean? What are you just going down here for the weekend?
Well, no. He has to practice. He lives in New York.
So you go down here for the weekend and you put him on a horse.